In this journaling lesson, I wanted to encourage you to journal on photos that you know nothing about, and to pay attention to the details in the photo and just talk about in your journaling what you see. Here is a photo of my dad. I knew absolutely nothing about this photo except for that it was him because it had his name written on the back side of the photo, and because I recognize him from other photos that I'm familiar with. And I want to share my journaling in detail with you and look at the photo so you can see and be inspired by this, that it is okay to journal what you think you are seeing in a photo. You don't have to know, because people in future generations are going to enjoy seeing what your insight was on the photo and probably agree with you. And if you talk about how in the journaling what you see and maybe it's this, or I wonder if it's this, it's going to cause people in the future to look at it the same way and know that, okay, we don't really know much about it, but this is what the story tells. In fact, the very ending of my journaling says, "It is amazing what stories a photo will tell if we just take time to really look at it and reflect." And so I knew nothing about it, but yet this whole photo has come to life for me. And in the journaling, I say, I look at this photo of my dad and other photos of him so young, and I wonder about his blonde hair. I always knew him to have black hair. I mean, growing up, he always had black hair, but all of his photos so young are blonde hair. But, that's something that people in the future might not know, a little tip that I knew. In order to bring this to life, something they might not see that I saw. And so it's good to journal about it. I'm certain he did not dye it either. His hair must have started out blonde and gotten darker with age. I do not know where this photo was taken, but I see someone enjoyed flowers and a well-kept lawn. So I'm looking at this photo and I see, well, it's a really well-kept lawn. And if you look at it, this bush back here is definitely blooming, and we know, if you're a gardener, that bushes don't bloom like that anytime but in the spring. I do see, and I didn't mention this in the journaling, and I might have. I love the little wooden fence that's here. It's just like somebody put. I don't even think it has anything in between. It's like somebody took a piece of wood and stuck it in the ground here and stuck a rail on the top just for the flowers to grow on. But if you're familiar with flowers, I can see this back here looks like a clematis growing up on that piece of wood. It's stuff that if I look in detail, I could tell that this is a spring photo. So I say it must be spring in this photo. Since his birthday is October 28th, he must have been nearly 1.5 in this photo. His arms and hands make me think he is using them to balance. I wonder if he walked late. So it doesn't say definitively that he was a late walker, but it shares my thoughts and makes them wonder too. You can see how his hands are really trying to give a balance, and especially his intent look, I guess, as if he's really working to balance himself. That brings this photo to life a little bit. I can see a doll in his hand. I wonder if it is a stuffed bunny. I think I might see ears flopping. Maybe this is an Easter photo. So this shows I journaled it as I was discovering things in the photo. So I first thought it was a doll. I went ahead and left it that way in my journaling. And then as I studied it, I thought I saw ears. And actually, my husband later agreed with me. The, I mean, I kept looking at this, and this looks like feet, like an actual doll feet. But up here, there's definitely ears. And so, first we have flowers, now we have a bunny, and I am beginning to really think that this is an Easter photo. And if I went to my dad's probably second Easter, the year when he was a year old, after he was born, and see what day Easter was, I bet you I could even pinpoint the day this photo was taken, even though I knew nothing about this photo. So really look at the detail of photos. It brings things to life. That poor bunny strangling by his neck. I see his shirt is so long that it is sticking out from the bottom of his shorts. Someone had to work hard to tuck that shirt in so smoothly, so deep. Look here. You can see how long his shirt is. It's coming out at the bottom. And if I were to journal more, I might talk more about how I wonder if there is what kind of diaper maybe is under there, because back then we didn't have the diapers that we have now. They had just cloth diapers, and so I see the belt here to keep up his pants coming around. Oh, the style. And I even look at his shoes, and I wondered about them. Why do his feet look so small? They look awfully small, but I didn't journal about everything I saw. I also spy a high-heeled dress shoe behind him. Someone, probably his mom, was not far away and keeping up with him. So these are the thoughts I had. There's the shoe. To journal about something so small. You can tell it's a high-heeled shoe, but it tells me that his mom was probably right behind him, following him around his yard. His dad probably was taking the photo. It almost brings the whole photo to life. I can see how he's balancing and focusing, and someone following him around to catch him, and you can almost feel the love in this photo just by having that foot in that photo. And so it makes me wonder what photos of mine people will pull out years from now and analyze and see the little details. I mean, I would be tempted when I'm taking photos now to crop out that shoe, because it's not supposed to be in there. But look at what that shoe does to bring this photo to life. And it's not even a whole shoe, it's just a toe of a shoe. So I think we can learn a lot about how we can journal on photos that we know nothing about by my example here. Take your time, study the photo, and when you see things, maybe it's just this piece of wood. I mean, journal about that. I think that's cool how way back then they just stuck a piece of wood in the yard like that to have the plants grow up on. It makes me want to go out in my yard and do that. And the things I'm saying right now, I could be typing them. The things that I'm thinking, I could be typing them. So take time to just sit and think about the photo, study it, and as you think, write down what you're thinking. Because I definitely went back and forth, and I thought something and I wrote it, and I thought something and I wrote it. For instance, I wrote, I can see a doll in his hand, and then I went back and then I saw the bunny ears, and then I went back and added the next part. So journal as you do your thinking. So that is your lesson for this in the journaling class, and I hope you've been really inspired by this video.